Work like an athlete in sales. Stop winging it, start training for it, guys. You're not just doing sales, you're a performance-based athlete. Every call is your arena, but most sales reps show up unprepared, untrained, and unfocused, then wonder why they are inconsistent with their sales process. That ends today, guys. Let me show you how to work like a pro athlete inside your sales game. I'm not a pro 100%, but I definitely made a good amount of money as an SDR. So there's still a lot of levels when it comes to closing for sure, and I'm gonna definitely get there at one point. But just want to really showcase this, guys. Like I've closed before, I closed a couple of deals, mostly a SDR in my sales career so far, though. Sales is a sport. Start treating it like one, guys. Sales equals mental performance game, and most reps don't even stretch. So you guys got to understand that waking up in the morning, even like 2, 3 hours before your work time, is very, very crucial because that helps you to put yourself in a state of mind where you're able to feel fulfilled, where you're able to feel grateful, where you're able to really be laser focused. For example, personally, I like waking up around like 5 or 6 a.m. I like to hit the gym in the morning. I like to drink black coffee. I like to review a sales call or a sales training module, essentially, right? And that helps me to really put myself in that position where I'm able to think like a sales athlete and perform like one, essentially. No athletes train only on game days. Okay, for example, let's just say you have a closing call, once every 2, 3 days. You don't train on the day of. You train before that too. You train on the day of. You train after that. You keep putting in the reps. No athlete skips recovery. They review as well as the drills. For example, no athletes are not gonna miss their training when it comes to, let's just say they play basketball. They're not gonna miss the drill of performing like 2, 3 hours of training before a game time or something like that, or the day of. No athlete improves without coaching. So athletes actually have a coach because they want to become the best of the best. And if you guys are in sales, you guys have to have a sales coach. You guys have to ask someone who's a little bit, better than you, essentially. Even if you can't afford a sales coach, you could at least network with people and put yourself in a position where you're able to surround yourself with people who are doing much better than you and learn from them. Top athletes train more than they play. They don't just show up and perform. They rehearse, they analyze, they refine. For you guys, it could be, writing down your scripts every morning. It could be you rehearsing your script. It could be you creating a flow chart of your script. In sales, most reps skip this. They wing it and hope for flow. If you're not reviewing, rehearsing, or training, you're not a sales athlete, you're a hobbyist. You're someone who just you know, loves sales as a hobby. And of course, you're not going to make cash like that. Serious cash. Train before you play. Daily prep. Preparation is what builds presence. Daily warm-ups equals like tonality reps, script review, objection handling, study film, your call recordings essentially. Mentally rehearse how you'll show up. Visualize yourself. How are you going to show up every single day on the field? How are you going to show up every single day to these sales calls? How are you going to help close these prospects? Are you going to guide them in the right direction, or are you going to fail? Visualizing is very important, guys. Visualization is something you guys must incorporate if you're looking to really see a huge level of success in your life. Every athlete warms up before a game. In sales, your warm up is practicing objections, tightening your openers, reviewing past call recordings, rebuilding your energy and presence. Sales isn't about memorizing a pitch, it's about deliberate readiness. You don't rise to the level of your goal, you fall to the level of your training. Guys, the reason why there's a lot of really good reps who don't have experience is because they train the fuck out of each day. Rep it up as much as they can compared to other salespeople who have been in the industry for 2, 3 years in high ticket sales. Most of them don't even fucking do mock calls these days. They think they're the shit. They think, they're performing at a high level, but a lot of them are performing at 10%, 20% close rates. Fuck that shit. A lot of them are not willing to do $200 or $300 because they think they're the shit and they're making 4K, 5K a month. No, guys, don't settle for 4 or 5Ks. Don't even settle for 10. Don't even settle for 20. Keep stacking up bread. Review your game film. Every call is lessons. Stop skipping class, right? A lot of you guys don't like reviewing your own calls, but if you could review your own calls, you could find out the small nuances where a call has gone wrong. Record and rewatch 1 to 2 calls per week. Break down what went well, what lost control. Ideally, turning points, tonality, trust breaks, timing. Athletes watch game film. Fighters rewatch sparring. Why don't you review your calls? The answers to your inconsistency are already in your calendar recordings, guys. Find where you lost control, you failed to challenge, you sounded uncertain. That's the blueprint to improvement, right? You can improve very easily. Sales calls are feedback loops, essentially, not just chances to perform. You guys are there to really help the prospects out. You're there to solve their problem. You're there, you essentially have their keys to their future. And if you can't guide them, bro, why are you even in sales? If you're not willing to go to the next level, review your own call recordings, you know, wake up every single morning, put yourself in that state of mind where, you wake up every single morning, hit the gym, visualization, eating clean, whatever the case is. If you can't do that, how do you expect a prospect to do the same thing? To think differently, to rewire their own limiting beliefs? Prioritize recovery and mental conditioning. This is something that I really, really, value a lot. Recovery equals performance, right? Sharpens the mind, protects the body. No sleep equals no edge. Get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Today, I'll be completely honest, guys. I got 4 hours of sleep, but I'm feeling like a G. I freaking woke up around 3:30 a.m., did a call recording, reviewed that, hit the gym, did my morning routine, had a nice shower, and just feeling 10 times better, recording this video. There's so much more to do, guys. Athletes manage stress, diet, and sleep. Mental strength training over motivation, guys. If you could really strengthen your mindset, it's 10 times better than motivation, because motivation that's only there for like a good day or two, to be honest. You can't burn out and still expect to close at a high level. Just like athletes, your nervous system matters. Your clarity matters. Take care of your sleep, your diet, your nervous system. Also, mindset reps matter a lot too. Meditation could be one. Visualization, writing down your fears and reframing them. That's also very important, guys. If you're not reframing your own beliefs, if you're not reframing your fears, how do you expect to reframe other people's fears or limiting beliefs if you're not doing that for yourself? Have that, authentic vibe to yourself when you're on those calls, guys. Right? Burnout doesn't come from working hard. It actually comes from working aimlessly without recovery. On top of that, it's like if you don't have a plan, then of course you're not going to make tremendous progress like you want to. Build a routine, track your game. Amateurs wing it, athletes log it. Track calls, closes, show up rates, objections. Build a weekly scoreboard. Know your weak spots and drill them in. For example, let's just say you're closing and you've been getting like 5 think about it's back to back to back. Bro, what do you feel like is a problem? It could be, you didn't create enough urgency. It could be that you weren't trustworthy enough. There's different ways to handle this, guys. Rewatch your call recordings. And for example, if you can't set calls properly, bro, practice your script, do some mock calls, and put in more reps. It's that easy, guys. No athlete trains without a plan. You need a sales routine. For example, it could be you checking your calls booked per day, knowing your show rate, knowing your close rate, most common objections, having that scoreboard like I mentioned earlier, and reviewing it weekly and treating it like game stats is very important, guys. Because look, you could gamify sales. If you've been like a competitive, sports player or like a gamer, dude, make it to a point where tracking every statistic when you're doing sales and outcompete the older version of yourself. For example, if you hit 5K, bro, why do you just want to hit 5K again? Start trying to hit 7K, start trying to hit 10K, right? Sales become predictable when you treat it like a craft, not a gamble, guys. Earn the identity of a sales athlete. This is your sport. Stop acting like it. Or start acting like it. Apologies about that, guys. Show up with your intention, right? Know the reason why you're showing up on these calls and what the outcome you're looking for. Train like your goals depend on it. Watch how your energy shifts. For example, if you know for a fact that you have really good why or really good reason to why you're in sales and you want to, achieve certain goals, that's going to help you out a lot. But if you don't have a why, if you don't have a reason behind why you're in sales, you're not going to really have that energy where like people are going to be like, dang, this guy's different. He's here to help me out. So have a why, guys. It's very important. As on top of that, of course, goals too. At the end of the day, anyone could take calls, but very few move like pros. When you start working like an athlete, your confidence rises, your performance becomes predictable, your identity evolves. Be the rep who trains like a closer long before the world sees you as one. Very important, guys. And I'll be completely honest. Here's a small story. I slipped up for like a month or two where I didn't train as hard. I'm getting back into training. Even then, I wish I had that time period where I just trained a lot during that 1 to 2 months, because I could have been way further in my sales career. But that's completely my fault, guys. And that's pretty much it when it comes to like becoming a sales athlete, guys. It takes time. Shifting your identity takes time, but it's not impossible, guys. If you're looking to really get to the next level, treat it like a competitive game. Everyone's here to outcompete everyone. Everyone's here to earn their commissions. Everyone's here to make an impact on this world. Figure out your why, figure out exactly why you're in sales, and train like an athlete. Put yourself in a position where you can get to the next level. Stop being complacent. You guys got this. Just remember to take it easy and everything will be fine. Peace.